On number 1, we have to find the sum or difference of 3m plus 4 minus 2m squared minus 6m plus 5. And first thing we want to do is get rid of the parentheses. So looking at the first term, I can just remove those. So we'll get 3m plus 4. On the second term, however, we have this minus sign over here that we're going to have to distribute the negative to all three terms over here. So we'll get negative 2m squared, positive 6m, and negative 5. Okay, then it's just matching up the correct terms. So we have m over here. It's going to match with the other m's, which are right here. We have a 4, which is going to match with the negative 5. And then we have a negative 2m squared, which is all by itself. Okay, so let's just put it all together. And we will get, let's start with the negative 2m squared. So we'll get negative 2m squared. And let's do the m's. 3m plus 6m makes 9m. Then 4 minus 5 is negative 1. On number 2, it's asking us to identify the slope in the y-intercept of 8y minus 2x equals 5. So we want it to be in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Okay, so to get that in the correct format, we have to get the y by itself. So I'm going to start by adding 2x to both sides. I'll get 8y equals 2x plus 5, and then divide by 8. And we'll get y equals 2 over 8 times x plus 5 over 8. And then we can simplify if we can. 2 over 8 times x simplifies to 1/4. And then 5 over 8 is already simplified, so we'll just leave it alone. Okay, so we end up with our slope being 1/4 and our y-intercept being 5/8. On number 3, we have to write an inequality for all real numbers that are less than or equal to negative 3 and greater than or equal to negative 8. Alright, so I'll start by putting the smallest number first, which is negative 8. The x is going to be in between the smaller and the bigger number, so it's going to go here. And then we'll have negative 3 as the bigger number. It is greater than or equal to negative 8, so we're going to use this symbol. And then less than or equal to negative 3, so it'll be this symbol. On number 4, we have to find the distance between these 2 points, 9 and 6 and 4 and 1. So we're going to use the distance formula, which is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, so let's identify our x1, x2, y1, and y2. So this will be our x1, this will be our y1, this will be x2, this will be y2. Then let's substitute them into our formula, and we will get square root of 4 minus 9 squared plus 1 minus 6 squared. And that's going to equal the square root of negative 5 squared plus negative 5 squared. And we will get square root of 25 plus 25 which is the square root of 50. And we can simplify that. So we'll take square root of 50 and we split it into some number times a perfect square. So 25 is a perfect square. We do 25 times 2, and that'll be 5 times the square root of 2. On number 5, we have to find the slope between these 2 points. We have negative 2 and 0, and 3 and negative 4. So since we have them on a graph already, all we have to do is count. We're going to do the change in y over the change in x. So the y, we started at 0, and we went down 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's negative 4. And then the x, we started at negative 2, and we went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be negative 4 over 5.